You know, the saddest thing about society today is that we live in a culture where division is the mission. Truly, I'm telling you, people would rather be divided than find harmony. They would. You get persecuted more for trying to understand the other side these days than actually, I can't even put it into words. This is actually insane. You get persecuted more for trying to understand the other side than picking a side and just saying, hey, I'm on this side, you're on that side, we're enemies. It's the craziest thing in the world. And it's hard to verbalize this because to me it's so dumb and it's so stupid. And I believe life would be so much peaceful and so much easier if we just would all try to get along. But apparently getting along is not popular these days. But I don't care what's popular. I really don't. Welcome to the narrative of Niles Niseem. I really think this is going to be a good episode. Let's get this rocking and rolling. And we are back with another episode of the narrative of Niles Niseem with me, your host with the most, Niles Niseem, as we take 10 to 15 minutes to help motivate you to become the person that you were called and destined to be. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, meet me in the middle. That's all I ask. Meet me in the middle. You know what's funny about life, right? Life is not black and white. There are some things that are black and white and wrong, yes. But what you'll find is that most of life is found within the gray, in the gray areas, okay? The gray areas are what make up the majority of all perspectives, situations, moments of life. But the problem is people don't like living in the gray. So people, it's not great living in the gray. It's not. Now the question is, why? Why do people seek division much more than they seek unity? And here's why. Unity is easier to live in, but it's harder to get to. While conflict is actually easier. It's easier to get on a journey to conflict. It's easier to be offended. Someone cuts you off right now on the road. What's the first reaction? Are you going to say God bless you, or are you going to say another word other than bless you in front of that? Let's be honest. Are you going to wave at them, or are you going to use one of these fingers to do another kind of wave at them? If someone cuts you off at traffic, it's easier to be offended by that situation than taking the time to say, hey, it's okay. It's going to be a great day. You have to choose to be positive, just like you have to choose to be unified, okay? Because the road to unity means you actually have to seek the other side's perspective. But guess what? People don't like doing that. They don't. Because they like being offended and they like conflict, because if you are offended and you like conflict, it means that you don't have to change. All you have to do is just argue your point and say, I agree to disagree. Now, here's what we don't want to talk about. All of us have preconceived notions in our minds. All of us have preconceived ideas about everything when it comes to the world, okay? And here's the thing. Some of us, because I'm not saying all, and I'm not saying it's you, but some of us have a hard time being wrong. No one wants to be proven wrong. They don't. They would like their preconceived notions to be right most of the time. Now, sometimes they wouldn't mind being proved wrong in there's certain situations, but most people like to be right. So, in order to be right in their head, sometimes they'll never learn about another topic. They'll never learn about another perspective. They'll never go search and actually get more research and more in depth with it. Why? Because the more information I have, the more I'm accountable to change. And even if you don't want to change, you can never erase the things that you know. So that's why people do it. That's why people sit there and they're divided. It's easier to have division. But I'm not like that. And I think even you aren't like that. If we step away from social media, which is such a divisive thing, it's the very thing that was made to get us to connect with people, to have no limits of connection across the world, time, and space, has been the very thing that has also divided us. That comment section is a battlefield, a war zone of people of different opinions and mindsets that are trying to prove that they are right all the time. Okay? But if you step away from that, most humans would like to live in peace. Guess what? The pursuit of peace is a hard thing to do, because you're going to have to lay down your pride for peace. You got to go and talk to the people that you never thought you were going to go talk to. You got to go talk to the people that have the complete opposite perspective of you. If you're a Democrat, you're going to have to go talk to a Republican, and vice versa. If you're a Republican, you're going to have to talk to a Democrat. It is what it is. If you're black, you're going to have to talk to somebody that's white. If you're white, you're going to have to talk to somebody that's black. If you're Hispanic, you're going to have to talk to somebody that's Asian. You're poor, that's going to have to talk to somebody that's rich. You're rich, you're going to have to talk to somebody that's poor. You're going to have to talk to the opposite side. And you're going to have to deal with some uncomfortable truths on both sides. You're going to have to talk about the stereotypes. You're going to have to talk about the common misconceptions. You're going to have to talk about the truth of the matter and the things that you don't understand and the perspectives, because you're going to have to really come to understand each other. Because when you understand each other, you can unite with one another. And when you can unite, you can be in unity. And when you can be in unity, you can be in peace. Yes, it's uncomfortable to get there. Yes, it's uncomfortable to live in the gray. Yes, it's easier to just say that I'm standing for something. But I want to be very clear. Let us truly understand this. Just because you didn't pick a side and you're trying to understand both doesn't mean that you're not standing for anything. It doesn't mean that you're wishy-washy. Some people need to say that. Some people will pressure you to try to pick a side because they feel like, oh, okay, you're just trying to take the easy way out. No. In fact, sometimes picking a side is the easy way out. It takes guts to stand in the middle and try to field everything that's coming at you from both sides, and do it in a healthy and effective way, and then making your decision based on that. Now, guess what? Like I've always said, in life, there are never 100% definites in this thing. There will be times in life where you are going to have to pick whether you're on the right side of history or not. That's true. There will be times where you're going to have to stand on one side and have to say that is definitively wrong, because there are things in life that are black and white. But trust me, try to live in the gray. Try, because here's the thing, right? The more you live in the gray, the greater you can become. Because the more perspectives you learn, the more ideologies you gain, the more understanding you have on the human experience, it will allow you to furthermore live a more fulfilled life. There are experiences, there are friendships, there are relationships, there are moments that you are blocking yourself from because you just need to stand your ground and put your flag in the ground and say, hey, I'm here. It's black and white and I'm on this side. You're blocking yourself from some blessings. But maybe you didn't want them in the first place. I don't know. It's not my prerogative, but I want to live life to the fullest. I want to be able to have friends. There are people in my life that have been the biggest blessing. They have been the biggest blessing. They have helped me out, taken me to my first sporting events, helped pay for different things in my life, helped me get to the next steps where I come. They've been one call away. They've kept their promises. And guess what? They didn't vote the same as me. They don't look the same as me. They're not in the same tax bracket as me. But because I learned to let go of just keeping it black and white, I was able to find the blessing in that relationship. Now, take what you will from this. And I do want to make this very clear, okay? I'm not here to condemn anyone on anything. This is just another perspective. I will say, though, this podcast is not a show that likes to dive into politics in that sense, because that's not what this space is for. I'll get it out there. I'm politically independent. I guess that's exactly what you would get after hearing something like this. But like I said before, there is a right or wrong on different things. There is a black or right. Sometimes there is a right and a wrong choice. And I'll leave it at that. But I do challenge you to try to live in the gray this week. Seek a perspective that you wouldn't seek before, if you're ready to hear that. Seek a perspective that's not flat out evil or wrong, that you never thought of. See where it takes you. See what possibilities are open up to you. See how you move throughout life after understanding that perspective. Then get back to me. I truly believe that we as a human race would be better if we just met in the middle, if we just did the work, the internal and external work, to figure each other out so that we can meet in the middle. But what do I know? I'm just a guy from Atlanta trying to be great one day. As always, be blessed. Don't stress. You know where to find me. You'll find me right here next week on another episode of The Narrative of Niles Niseem. Do the homework. Find somebody with a different perspective. And I'll see you next week. I love you all. Thanks for coming on the ride with me.